Coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine, Getting Pampered in the Poconos, a girl's getaway with Bri and Dee. Exploring international eats, part 1 of Touring Pocono Bed and Breakfasts. The stress-free way to sip and play across the region, and a look inside this escape room empire in the Pocono Mountains.
Explore Tobyhanna State Park throughout the seasons. Make a stop on the Pocono History and Art Trail, where the finest glassware was made more than a century ago. Catch some fresh raised fish at these fish and pay lakes, and meet Justin Genslinger, the second generation of Settlers Hospitality.
Hello everyone and welcome to the April edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine. We are here at the beautiful Stroudsmore Country Inn. Spring is in the air and we're going to check out a lot of cool places this month.
Yeah, Dee, this place is great for a lot of events like weddings, and then there's so many other places to explore in the Pocono Mountains for girls' getaways. Bri and Dee got to check out the French Manor. Have a look.
Hey everyone, it's Bri.
And Dee, we're here at the French Manor Inn and Spa for the ultimate girls' getaway. This luxurious retreat in the heart of the countryside is the perfect place for relaxation and unforgettable memories.
Join us as we get pampered, indulge in fine dining, and dive into everything that makes this four-diamond property so special any time of the year.
So Deanna, we're checking you into the Nice Suite, which happens to be my favorite suite on property. It has a fabulous 28-mile view from the balcony. It has the slipper tub in the corner. These suites were all just updated. They have the beautiful walk-in showers with the glass doors, and we hope you'll be very comfortable in this suite.
And Brianna, we're checking you into our Jardin suite, which means garden in French. So all of our spa suites are individually decorated. Yours is one of our end units, most popular, I would say, and has a gorgeous view of the Tranquility Garden below. Again, it has the fireplace and the whirlpool tub, so a lot of people like to have those jetted tubs in their rooms. The building was built in 1930, so it was owned by Joseph Hirshhorn originally, and it was a private retreat over 500 acres. They came here for holidays and summer vacations and things like that. And then it changed hands a few times, but then it became a bed and breakfast probably in the
late 1980s.
80s, yeah. Then our parents purchased it in 1990, and then it's been in the family since then.
So tell us what makes the French Manor the perfect getaway destination and what sets you apart from other getaway destinations in the area.
Well, the French Manor tries to provide a very relaxing retreat type atmosphere. It works out well for couples, for girlfriend getaways, when they're looking to escape the city, have a little spa. It does provide that type of just respite. You can be out on your balcony and do nothing, or you can join in some of the girlfriend activities. Our guests really enjoy the saltwater pool. It is warmed to a temperature that it's closer to that bath-like water, so people can really unwind and relax before their treatments. So if they're going in for a pedicure or a massage, they're really relaxed, they're ready for their treatment. We like to say that we rolled out the green carpet for the spa. It's mostly treatment rooms for two. So there's a double pedicure room with manicures, there's a double facial room, 2 double massage rooms. Certainly you can have singular appointments, but we do cater people coming together to reconnect and enjoy their time together.
So we've incorporated some products that we use for our treatments with local vendors such as Pocono Organics, Note Fragrances, and Nature's Technology out of Stroudsburg.
Seasonally, we have some of those activities just offered, like Saturday morning from May through October. We have yoga in the lawn that anyone can join in, but you can always enhance your stay with a private yoga session, on a Tuesday morning or Wednesday evening after dinner, or meditation. We have a couple miles of private hiking trails right here on property that a lot of people do like to use, but we also offer, with the private yoga session, a 20 to 30 mile view depending on where she sets that up, and we have a couple wonderful, really seasoned yoga experts or yogi that can come here to coordinate that for your own private experience.
The new Tranquility Garden, which you got to experience with both the hot tub and the yoga, that's a great space year-round. Even in the winter, they're heated walkways, so everything is like just pristine with the snow.
Cheers!
Wine tastings are always a big popular add-on, which we got to experience, so thank you for letting me join you. That was a lot of fun. The wine tastings we do April weekends as well as November and early December. That is something that anybody can add to their stay, but of course it always is a popular one with the girlfriend getaways.
We really do like to focus on the dining. It is one of our best amenities here. When you're coming out to the French Manor, you expect the dining to match the elegant surroundings. We are very lucky to have 3 wonderful chefs, and we do serve 7 nights a week, so every night is truly a fine dining experience. We do carry 4 diamonds for the lodging and the dining. That's been for over 20 years now. We'd like to focus on that and make sure that people, they're here to celebrate a special occasion, whether it's a birthday or an anniversary or just a special date night out. So we do like to make sure that everyone feels like they're the king and queen of the dining room. And we like to finish up with a gourmet breakfast when you're checking out, because breakfast can be just as important as the dinners. We do get quite a few repeat customers. We do pride ourselves on that.
During the warmer months, we offer outdoor dining on our terrace, which offers that almost 30-mile view, which is fantastic. And on Tuesdays through the summer, we offer live jazz. And we call it Tuesdays on the Terrace.
The spa and dining are open to the public 7 days a week. The overnight is a nicer way to experience everything we have to offer, but we do get people that will come in for spa, stay for dinner, so we do accommodate that as well.
This is the perfect way to end a girls' getaway. We're leaving feeling relaxed with so many new great memories.
Yes, from the beautiful views to the great conversations, this getaway was one for the books. Until our next adventure, we're Bri and Dee with the Pocono Television Network.
We're going to get a bit of a history lesson as we explore another state park here in the Poconos. This is Tobyhanna State Park, the history behind all this ice at the lake. That's coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
Exploring international eats, 2 must-try restaurants in the Poconos, coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
More great stories on Pocono Mountains Magazine coming up. First, some Pocono notables from across the region.
So I'm taking you to 2 of my favorite properties owned by powerhouse women.
Dee celebrated Women's History Month with NBC New York, stopping at Wallenpaupack Brewing Company and the French Manor Inn and Spa. Even NJ.com got in on the French Manor love with an article about a girls' getaway. Sound familiar?
Tourism is back in the driver's seat this summer at Pocono Raceway. Visit PA is once again partnering with the Tricky Triangle as entitlement sponsor of Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series, the Great American Getaway 400, presented by visitpa.com. Get your tickets at PoconoRaceway.com for the big NASCAR triple header weekend, June 20th through 22nd. Hundreds of short-term rental operators came together to network at Kalahari Resorts and Conventions for the 2nd annual Pocono Short-Term Rental Conference. Nationally recognized speakers and breakout sessions with industry experts gave insight on best practices, responsible regulation, and more. Visit PoconosSTRconference.com to join the waitlist for 2026.
Some Southern comfort gives back to those in need. Willie Mae's Place, featured before on PTN, provides hot lunches to folks at the Street to Feet Day Shelter in Stroudsburg, all thanks to donations from the community.
In the Pocono Mountains, we always want you to feel like a guest in our home, our mountain home.
Our 4 diamond homes.
You can dream.
Relax, we'll do it all for you.
Do it your own way. Choose a vacation rental home.
Our water parks are a splash of world class. We don't have to clean all these rooms, right?
The Pocono Mountains, where you're treated like a guest in all our mountain homes. Visit PoconoMountains.com.
Welcome to Tobyhanna State Park. This is stop 2 on our 8-part series of exploring state parks in the Poconos. And with a lake, this beautiful lake that's stocked with trout every season, and there's camping and trails, as well as boat rentals and beauty, this lake and this state park have a long, extensive history of keeping things cool. No matter the season, no matter the reason, Tobyhanna State Park is a favorite for getting outdoors and into nature by pedaling on trails or paddling on the lake, snowshoeing in winter, or posing to capture those quintessential family moments. Tobyhanna sees visitors throughout the year, from near and far.
Coming up, especially from New York City, or I'm sure people who come up maybe from other cities like Philly, whatever, it's definitely, a respite to get away. I think it's just important for people's, spirit. To me, personally, like this is more like going to church in some ways, getting out here.
All 5,400 acres provide the perfect opportunities to spend hours, days, even weeks at a time within the woods and surrounded by wildlife. A bald eagle nest within easy viewing of the shoreline. And whether it's from the eagle's perch or from the boat, fishing's good here by all accounts. Tobyhanna Lake is stocked fresh with trout each spring.
All ages can fish, but all people with any ability can fish here as well. We have a ADA accessible fishing pier in the park, which is a place that a lot of people like to go to fish.
Park manager Justin Wade welcomed us for a tour of Tobyhanna. He also oversees neighboring Gouldsboro State Park and Big Pocono. For him, Tobyhanna State Park is sometimes the first introduction some have to the state park system.
There's a lot to do here at the park. Anything from somebody that wants to come here and be here for a day use activity, such as picnicking or swimming at our beach.
For longer stays, camping is a popular part of the Tobyhanna experience. 140 campsites with everything you need. Tanya Doney has watched families grow up here through her 30 years of service to the state park.
There are a few really nice sites and people want them all the time, but specifically they might have a favorite site and they will reserve it 11 months in advance because that's the limit that you can reserve every year, and they'll come back.
And to come back, they have, whether it's to head out on the trails, take in some spectacular fall foliage views, or rent a boat for a voyage on this 170-acre lake. Nowadays, the lake provides a place for recreation. But about a century ago, a frozen Tobyhanna Lake provided ice for the harvest for city centers in Scranton and New York.
A lot of these small lakes, including here, Mill Pond number 1, which is down in Tobyhanna, which is outside the park, and then Gouldsboro State Park, all had ice harvesting lakes. Ice harvesting was only a thing between about 1900 and 1936 because refrigeration was invented.
Of course.
So it wasn't needed anymore.
Each year, local history buffs keep the tradition of the ice harvest alive, just down the road from Tobyhanna State Park at Mill Pond number 1, with some of the same equipment that would have been used in that time period. These bodies of water, ideal for ice formation because of where they are, high atop the Pocono Mountains.
It is typically 10 to 12 degrees colder here than it is in Stroudsburg, which is only about 20 miles from here. And the lake has an average depth of only about 3 feet and a max depth of only about 9 feet, which allowed them to actually harvest ice twice throughout the winter. Because the lake would freeze, they could harvest it, and then it would freeze again, and they would harvest it again.
A lesson in history and how where this state park is fits into the big picture of the changing seasons and the evolution of time, including signs of a bygone era before this was a state park, and the military tested artillery shells here pre-1950. Tobyhanna Army Depot is now a neighbor to the state park, and some warnings remain about the small chance of finding relics from that time.
It is extremely, extremely unlikely for anybody to find one of these unexploded ordnances. If you stay on the trail, you stay in the day use areas, you stay in the campground, your chances of finding them are almost zero.
As we celebrate Earth Day in April, state parks like Tobyhanna are here as reminders of our relationship to the natural world all around us, and the good work being done to conserve everything within these shared waters, forests, and skies.
That's what we do as the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources with the Bureau of State Parks. We're also here to educate and teach people how to treat the outdoors and respect the outdoors, so it is here for that person's enjoyment and their children's children, is what I say.
To learn more about Tobyhanna State Park, head to PoconoTelevision.com. Thanks for exploring state parks in the Poconos with us. This has been Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network.
There are so many amazing restaurants spread throughout the beautiful Pocono Mountains. Today we're going to check out 2 hidden gems who offer unique international flavors for an unforgettable experience rooted in culture and passion. Our first stop, Shinjiru Ramen in Tannersville, serving traditional Japanese ramen with a modern twist. The perfect place to start our culinary adventure.
Irashimasu. How are you?
So I'm here with Eric, co-owner and manager of Shinjiru Ramen. So Eric, tell me why you and your partners decided to bring authentic ramen to the Pocono Mountains.
My partner loves Japanese food, especially ramen noodle. That's why he excited to bring ramen authentic and donburis to Pocono, so people local and also a visitor, they can enjoy ramen here. They don't need to go to New York or Philadelphia anymore. We have a special ramen, which is the spicy garlic tonkatsu ramen. Tonkatsu basically is a classic ramen, but we put a twist with a garlic and also a spicy. So it's bring more flavor to the ramen, so it's very nice and flavorful.
So I'm gonna try one of the dishes today. Who's gonna make that for me?
So my co-owner Peter, he will make the ramen for you and you will enjoy it.
Chef Peter's culinary journey began in Indonesia, learning from his mother, and later deepened through experience in Japanese kitchens and mentorship from his brother-in-law. His passion for food shines through every dish, bringing guests an unforgettable dining experience. After enjoying the delicious ramen here, we're off to our next stop to discover the vibrant flavors of Ecuador. Let's see what flavorful dishes they have prepared for us here at Bluefoot Cuisine in East Stroudsburg. So I'm here with Monica, co-owner of Bluefoot Cuisine. Monica, tell us what inspired you and your husband to bring authentic Ecuadorian cuisine here to the Pocono Mountains?
Well, me and my husband love food, and he has a passion for food that comes from his upbringing when he was young in the Galapagos Island.
Yo me pondré a vivir en cada rosa.
People in the area could get to taste our food and know a bit about our culture.
Victor honed his culinary skills at a young age as captain and chef on boat tours in the Galapagos Islands. Years later, he brought his passion for cooking to the Poconos, opening Bluefoot with his wife Monica. I feel like what you're saying is they're coming to eat, yes, the food, the art, the whatever, but you're making them feel comfortable. You're making them feel like they're part of your family. Focused on fresh ingredients and bold flavors, Bluefoot has become a local favorite, known for its tradition and authenticity, with guests often sharing notes about their experience. The welcoming atmosphere is made even more special by Victor, who occasionally serenades guests with his musical talents. From Japan to Ecuador, we've explored some incredible flavors and unforgettable dishes. Today's journey may be over for now, but you can enjoy endless culinary adventures throughout the Pocono Mountains. I'm Deanna Fontanez with the Pocono Television Network.
A complete history lesson in glassmaking here at the Dorflinger Factory Museum. Come along on the Pocono History and Art Trail for a story on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
If you're looking for a unique place to stay overnight in the Pocono Mountains, we have you covered. Join us for part 1 of Touring Pocono Bed and Breakfasts, coming up next on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
Embark on a journey of luxury.
A new level of sophistication.
Where?
In the Pocono Mountains.
The Lodge at Woodlock. Elegance defined.
The Swiftwater, a new and exciting addition to the luxury collection.
The picturesque French Manor. The iconic Mount Airy Casino Resort.
The Grand Lady of the Pocono Mountains, Skytop Lodge.
The Pocono Mountains Luxury Resorts Collection at PoconoMountains.com.
No love. See you guys later. Noah, be careful. You know Noah?
The village of White Mills here between Honesdale and Hawley has a rich industrial heritage. That includes here at the Dorflinger Factory Museum. This place was the heartbeat of this community for so long, and it's one of the big stops on the Pocono History and Art Trail. So come along as we get a brilliant glimpse at the cut glass history here in the Pocono past. It is a veritable feast for the eyes, wall to wall, window to window, inside this nearly decade-old Dorflinger Factory Museum. And the man behind it all, Jim Asselstein, beams with pride for the story of crystal and craft preserved here.
We definitely are proud of what we've done. Our objective was to really create a very special location here and to tell a very special and important story, and we hope that we've been able to do that.
That special and important story has a main character, Christian Dorflinger, a French immigrant. The name is synonymous with White Mills and cut glass. The exquisite displays showcase Dorflinger's work and the work of the industrial village built all around the factory more than a century ago.
So the stories are about the people who lived in White Mills and worked in the factory, and also how this glass was used in society. This luxury tableware was made for the wealthiest families in the country, for international embassies, for the government, for the White House, and so we want to tell that part of the story as well, is the role that this glass played and the products that this company played in society overall.
When folks head out on the Pocono History and Art Trail and stop here at the Dorflinger Factory Museum in White Mills, Jim, we want to give them some idea of what they're in for when they come in. This place is immense, and it's spectacularly gorgeous too, with all the light and gorgeous exhibits here. What do we have here for people when they come visit the Factory Museum?
So the first area of the museum, this area right in here, focuses on how the glass was made. We have examples of equipment used in the Dorflinger factory to do engraving, cutting, acid etching, decorating, and also exhibits on how the glass was blown as well.
All this luxury glass, etched and meticulously cut, on display for a mere $5 entry. 18 and under are free at the Factory Museum. And as they say, the experience is a home run.
This baseball bat is one of the most popular items that we have in the collection. This bat was made for a local man named Eddie Murphy in 1913 when Eddie Murphy played on the Philadelphia Athletics team against the New York Giants in the World Series.
Even a sparkling wedding set made at the turn of the 20th century for the wealthiest families in New York, the Vanderbilts.
Christian Dorflinger made glassware for 8 presidential administrations, starting with Abraham Lincoln in 1861 and continuing through Woodrow Wilson.
More than 2,000 pieces of glass from this very factory before it shuttered more than 100 years ago. The beautiful bluestone building restored, and the adjacent office building housing all of this beauty. And not far from another glass museum of the same name, featured before on Pocono Television Network at the Dorflinger Sudam Wildlife Sanctuary.
The whole idea was to complement what we already had in White Mills with the Dorflinger Sudam Wildlife Sanctuary, the Dorflinger Glass Museum, which also has an outstanding collection of Dorflinger glass. And the idea was there are things we can do here that we couldn't do there, or vice versa. And between the two of them, you get the full story.
Inside the Factory Museum, there's an event space, one floor below all those exhibits, and a fully intact boiler that helped fuel this factory, surrounded by local art. All of this just one of dozens of stops on the Pocono History and Art Trail, accessible on mobile devices with ways to check in at each museum or art stop. Here at the Dorflinger Factory Museum, it's a blend of both art, a lost art, and history, which through generations of Dorflinger workers still living here today, lives on, in, and around White Mills.
inevitably, in the fourth graders who come through the factory during those school visits, we'll have several kids whose ancestors worked in the Dorflinger Factory. So that's a really neat part of the history of this company as well, and its long-standing roots to this community.
Join us on the Pocono History and Art Trail and stop by the Dorflinger Factory Museum for rich history still shining after all these years. This has been Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network.
From historic resorts and luxury four-diamond properties to cozy cabins and camping, there's no shortage of places to stay overnight in the Pocono Mountains. And if you're looking for a personalized stay, a home away from home where your hosts feel like family, consider booking at a bed and breakfast. Today, we're taking you on a tour of a few of our favorites. Come along.
We've had several guests say, I feel like I'm walking into my aunts and uncles, and they'll say to me, can I call you Aunt Lisa?
Aunt Lisa is Lisa Altman, co-owner of Four Seasons for Fun Bed and Breakfast in Lakeville. She shows us around the homey living room and spacious kitchen where she greets guests every morning with a warm, fresh breakfast.
I love to feed people, and the kitchen has just been a dream kitchen of mine. And being able to share that with people and cook and serve them, it just brings me joy.
The sunroom, great for dining and year-round relaxation. Homemade cookies, a special touch to the fully stocked coffee and tea bar. As an avid coffee drinker, I approve. This is beyond expectations. Lisa and her partner Dante are New York natives who decided to relocate to the Poconos and build their dream bed and breakfast here after Lisa visited the region for a girls' getaway. The couple came up with their big plan while out celebrating a hockey game victory.
We drafted up a preliminary on a napkin at the bar, and we said, all right, this will start here. And then 5 years in design and 2 years and 20 days in construction. Later, here we are.
Four Seasons for Fun offers 7 modern guest suites, including this all-accessible, wheelchair-friendly room. Each is named after an indigenous flower in the area. The door designs painted by a local artist. Much of what you see here was sourced locally, from the furniture to decorations. Wow, this is where I'm staying.
Yeah.
This is where I am staying. The round bed in this romantic room pays homage to the Poconos honeymoon era. Guests can book special packages and add-ons.
So this here, this barn door, this actually can close.
Or conjoin suites for larger groups, like bridal parties and girls' getaways.
The big draw that people do come to the area for is Lake Pack, but also your small towns like Hawley, Honesdale. There's always a festival, and those draw people in. And having a bed and breakfast, it gives them a different experience than what some of the other lodging is in the area.
Adding to that experience, this outdoor area, complete with a cabana room and patio kitchen where Lisa cooks her famous breakfast in the warmer months. They've served guests from all over the country and world.
It's very rewarding. It fills our hearts with joy, especially when people leave and they're hugging us goodbye, like we're family.
Yeah,
it's
unbelievable.
It is just so touching.
My dad said that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
We've left Wayne County and traveled about an hour away to our second stop here in Monroe County. Welcome to Mountaintop Lodge at Lake Naomi.
Well, we've got 2 full beds, a whole living room, and then a separate bedroom with a queen bed.
Carolyn Kuiper takes us through the different rooms in various sizes and styles. There are 10 rooms in the main house and 4 cabin suites in a separate building.
Each of our cabin suites has a 2-person whirlpool tub.
I love this.
Right?
Plus a coffee shop open to the public 7 days a week and made-to-order breakfast included in your stay.
I like to say that we are kind of the center of the Poconos, so you can do day trips to just about anywhere with no more than a 20 to 30-minute drive.
A unique perk of staying overnight here, guests receive a temporary membership to the exclusive Lake Naomi Club nearby.
Without owning a home in Lake Naomi or purchasing membership to Lake Naomi, it is the only way to be able to use the amenities. There's a 277-acre lake, there are 7 beaches, there are 2 outdoor pools, a community center with an indoor pool, sauna, steam room, hot tub, fitness center. We have a 9-hole golf course, we have an 18-court tennis center, and we have a 10-court pickleball center. So lots and lots to do.
The lodge was built as a hotel in 1928, servicing travelers from a former train stop across the street. The property changed hands and uses throughout the decades, eventually purchased by Lake Naomi and restored to its former glory as a bed and breakfast in 2012.
You're not just a name here, you're actually part of the family when you check in.
Throughout the rooms and common areas at the Mountaintop Lodge at Lake Naomi, you'll notice a common theme: mountain rustic.
We've got old sporting equipment on the walls. You also see, like, our one wall, we have ice cutting equipment because a lot of the lakes in the area were originally made for ice harvesting. So we have pictures on the one wall of Tobyhanna with the different equipment that they would have used. And then just old skis and snowshoes and toboggans and, you know, just kind of the things that the Pocono Mountains were originally kind of built on.
Thanks for joining us for part 1 of Touring Pocono Bed and Breakfasts. We'll see you again next month for part 2. I'm Bri and Dee with the Pocono Television Network.
Ready to sip, savor, and explore? The perfect way to do just that coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
At East Stroudsburg University, you will study with cutting-edge technology. You can perform in the classroom, field, or stage. You'll get involved on campus and off. You can have fun preparing for your future.
Pocono Television Network is everywhere you are, including broadcast, cable, and streaming. Download the free PTN app on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and iPhone, Android, Google, and smart TVs. Or rescan and get the PTN digital signal in Philly, Harrisburg, Baltimore, and Scranton-Wilkes-Barre. Or if you're on cable, PTN is on Blue Ridge, Service Electric, and more, where you can watch PTN, the Pocono Television Network, anytime at PoconoTelevision.com.
There are many ways to explore the Pocono Mountains. Today, I'm bringing you along with me for an exclusive look at what it's like to book with Sip and Play Tours as we check out 2 great stops on our beverage trail.
There you go.
Hi, thank you. I'm here with Chantel, co-owner of Sip and Play Tours. So Chantel, tell us and the viewers, what made you start this business of Sip and Play Tours here in the Pocono Mountains?
Sure. Well, the Poconos are our home, and it has so many wonderful businesses and experiences to offer. So with everything being so far apart, we wanted to create a really cool custom bus experience where we could take groups, families, friends, and they can really showcase and see everything that the Poconos has to offer.
Your journey is sure to be one to remember with Sip and Play Tours. Can't wait to see what incredible spot was planned for our first stop.
I always love to recommend Sorrentis and places like this because it's a really cool experience that they give our guests. Our patrons love coming here because in addition to the delicious wine and sangria and pizza, they also have really yummy craft spirits. So they have something for everyone, and that's really what most people are looking for.
I will have to say the wine is delicious. Let's give it one little sip for our viewers. Let's see. This is a great way to try things. Like you were saying, you build the tours for wineries and breweries and distilleries in the area. And if someone's never been, it's a great way for them to sample. Like if you don't know what you like, here, they're giving you the option to taste a bunch of different ones. Whether you're toasting with friends, discovering new flavors, or simply taking in the view, each stop is designed to make every moment special. Now let's see what amazing location Chantel has in store for us next. So Chantal, I asked you earlier what you like recommending about the first location to your guests. So tell me about why you recommend Pocono Brewery Company to your guests on their tours.
Oh, for sure. So we always recommend Pocono Brewing Company because they are just a really great brewery. They've got a really wonderful selection of beers, craft beers that they make in-house. And so that's something that our patrons really love, right? They love going someplace where they can do a tour, they can try the different beers, but PPC also offers the full restaurant and cocktail experience. So So again, it's another location that offers a little bit of everything for everyone.
Well, I feel like you have taken me to 2 amazing stops today, and I definitely have to book a tour for myself and my friends because you have not steered me wrong yet. One more cheers for that.
Cheers.
From local wineries and breweries to the hidden gems of the Pocono Mountains, every stop with Sip and Play Tours is a chance to make new memories and discover something new. It's not about the destination, it's about the experience. Book your tour with them today and let the adventures begin. I'm Deanna Fontanez with the Pocono Television Network.
Fishing is a rite of passage every spring here in the Pocono Mountains. We're gonna see where you can cast your line here in the Poconos. Coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 ways to play in the Poconos. Coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
The headlines are heart-wrenching. Crews recover body of missing swimmer. Drowning victim did not wear a life jacket. You don't think it can happen to you. The river looks calm, but the current is a killer if you don't wear a life jacket. Swimming, floating, fishing, boating, wear it. The life you save could be yours. Don't fall victim to drowning. Wear a life jacket.
Three best-in-class properties at Woodloch. Families unite for endless fun. Wellness seekers find calm in nature, and golfers compete on stunning greens. Every laugh to every swing, it's all here. Only in Pike County, only at Woodloch.
Well, trout season is upon us once again here in the Pocono Mountains, and there's plenty of public rivers, lakes, and streams from where you can cast your line for free. But here at Big Brown Fish and Pay Lakes and Effort, you can get your rod. You can get all the bait you want, and there's 3 different ponds from where to cast your line and catch the big one. They even raise their fish here on site at a hatchery that we're going to check out on this segment. Come along. Tucked between Route 115 and the Pohopoco Creek are the ponds that make up Big Brown Fish and Pay Lakes, a labor of love for Charlie Conklin and his family since the early 1970s. Charlie dug these ponds himself 50 years ago. How many trout do you have in here at any given time?
So we usually have about 6,000 pounds in the little pond and 6,000 pounds in this pond.
That's more than 4,000 fish per pond. There's even another pond full of bass. You pay a low cost to get in, and you can catch how many fish at one time and take them with you for eating?
Yeah, well, you can catch all you want. You just have to be careful because you got to pay for what you catch, and you have to keep what you catch.
Folks have been catching at Big Brown Fish and Pay Lakes for a half-century, and at the Conklins' other location, the historic Paradise Brook Trout Company in Cresco, which is the first licensed trout hatchery in PA. Back at Big Brown, fishing is always in season outside of winter. We take a little pan over here too because I think it's pretty amazing to see right now this, circular motion right now. This, would you consider that, something that they're doing right now to wait for feeding time?
Yes.
Okay.
We do feed them because it keeps them more healthy, keeps them growing.
And growing is a full-time operation across the creek from the fish and pay ponds, where the next generation has taken the hook, line, and sinker.
So this is our hatch house. This is where it all starts.
Alan Conklin has kept the business growing, just like these fish, bigger and bigger.
As they grow, they start to run out of space, so we'll take the larger ones, split them up, and move them into these next series of troughs.
So there's more troughs, bigger fish. Really, you can see the difference here from there.
We stock all over the Northeast, especially Connecticut, New York, PA. We can go as far as Wisconsin with one of our trucks.
The Conklins and their crew at Big Brown aim for 12 inches on brown trout in a year, brook trout 14 inches, and rainbow trout 15 or 16 inches. They grow the fastest.
So from inside the hatch house, outside here to the raceways, Alan, you've got a lot of brown trout here, just getting some sun, soaking it in, and getting bigger by the day. So they have to move up in size and move up in size of raceway.
That's right. As they grow, they go into a bigger area. They need more volume of water to keep growing.
And keep growing, they do.
Here's one for you.
Alan and his employees are always sizing up these trout before loading them up into the truck to be stocked at private locations all across the map, taking serious pride in the finished product.
We need to raise them fast to be able to be profitable, but also we want them to be the highest quality. So we just try to always make sure all their fins and colors look great.
Whether it's delivered by truck or you hook one yourself, Big Brown provides more than just a place to find fish. It's an experience that oftentimes means fish for dinner. No fishing license required.
We have a lot of people come here and fill up their freezer because they love the fresh fish. You can't get it fresher. You know, it's swimming until you take it up there and have the kids fillet them.
Big Brown Fish and Pay Lakes is open from March to December. Go to bigbrownfish.com to prepare for your next fishing trip. Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network.
8 rooms, 3 locations, and 1 hour to make it out. It's an escape room empire in the Pocono Mountains.
Alert. Please refrain from stepping on the exhibits.
From ancient tombs and tubes to bones and payphones, it might take some time to put the pieces together. But before we get to that, this story starts in 2020 when Matt Hensel got hooked on escape rooms along with his wife. They've worked their way through nearly 70 escape rooms across the country. It became a hobby to find one during every family vacation.
One thing we noticed is that there was kind of a reoccurring theme of, I love escape rooms, but there's something that just bothers me about this one, or this one didn't seem logical, or there's something that just seemed off, or something I felt, to be quite honest, that we could do better.
So Matt decided to leave an impressive career in television to open big screen escapes in Mount Pocono. His brother Pete also left his longtime career to join the business.
$275. Would you go 300?
Pete went from sales to sourcing props, comparing it to History Channel's hit show American Pickers.
One of the coolest experiences that we have with a group, especially when we open the door and we let them into the room, they feel like, ooh, wow, look at that. They feel like they're entering that story, they're entering that time period.
Get trapped in a teenager's bedroom in 1988 with all the nostalgic movies and decor you'd expect.
2, 1.
Find yourself at a nuclear bomb testing site in 1945, or seek shelter in this cabin during a 100-year snowstorm and try signaling for help before it's too late. The business became so successful, Matt and Pete opened a second location soon after, Big Screen Escapes 2 in Tannersville, about 10 minutes away. The storylines here are sequels to Mount Pocono. Find your way home from a 1999 Y2K New Year's party, sure to be a blockbuster blast from the past, or help save mankind from a 1960s government conspiracy.
For that time, the kids are off the phones, they're paying attention, most of the families are working together, and if you read our reviews, the big thing is the experience people have with us. So it's not just about opening the locks, it's also about family getting time together.
Most recently, the brothers acquired Clues Escape Room in downtown Stroudsburg, one of Matt's favorite escape rooms to visit as a guest. They've honored the former owners by keeping the name and some features the same, while adding updates and new experiences. The family business grew yet again with this third location, bringing in brother-in-law Anthony, who also left his career for this new venture.
Everything that we have is family friendly. The 3 of us all have kids, so we all want it to be something that everybody can do, whether it's parents with their kids or parents bringing their parents, or a whole big family.
With these escape rooms, expect the unexpected. From walking through a vintage fridge to unlock new rooms and exploring hidden exhibits along the way. Inside the newest room at Clues, called the Pharaoh, you'll wander into a museum after hours, and the only way to get out comes with a pop culture twist. There's also the Moonshiner and Mad Scientist with interactive storylines that are full of life. unlike Mr. Bones.
It's like when you used to go to the shore and say, oh, I gotta go to this one place, we go there every time. When you come back from New York, New Jersey, parts in Pennsylvania, Maryland, all the way up to Alaska, we have people who have come and visit us. I want you to come back to the Poconos and say, oh, I have to go to Big Screen Escapes.
A family helping other families unlock new adventure in the Pocono Mountains. I'm Bri with the Pocono Television Network.
Meet the second-generation hospitality leader behind the Settlers Inn and numerous other properties in this Poconos-based company.
My parents worked 6-7 days a week when we were kids, and so we went to work with them. And as a young boy, to me, that was just fun.
That Pocono Perspectives is coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
Complex conditions of the nervous system require extraordinary care. At St. Luke's, it begins with a compassionate team of neurosurgeons with incredible skill sets and advanced level practitioners experienced in caring for patients with conditions of the brain and spine. A neurosurgery visit does not always mean surgery is the only option. And when surgery is the best option, St. Luke's offers minimally invasive neurosurgical approaches. St. Luke's, the neurosurgical care you trust now more than ever.
Small town charm, boutique shopping, historical attractions, and luxury spa resorts. With so much to offer, you'll want to stay a few nights. Book your trip to the Pocono Mountains by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
Growing up in the inn was a hoot. I mean, my parents bought the building in 1980 and slowly opened it over a number of years. There was really no difference in life between work and family because we lived, worked, and breathed at the restaurant. And, you know, when the inn opened, the restaurant opened first, and they slowly opened one guest room and then one more at a time. And we all moved in upstairs.
The Pocono Mountains is the birthplace to a Pocono wonderland of untold pleasure.
Winter in the Poconos, clear and crisp.
Called the land of the waterfall.
A recipe for romance.
I grew up from, born and raised, so to speak. And so my grandfather was the gym teacher and the swim coach and the basketball coach. And we had a house here on the lake. And so every minute we had was either in the water or back at the inn at the restaurant. My parents worked 6-7 days a week when we were kids. And so we went to work with them. And as a young boy, to me, that was just fun. So I was in the kitchen with my dad right up until I was old enough to take a tip. And I was like, wow, that cash is a lot better. So I left the kitchen and went into the front of the house, and that was mom's territory. And I would say it instilled both a work ethic, but also just a love for food and beverage and hospitality in general. I graduated Wallenpaupack in 1995 and wanted to get as far out of Hawley as I could. And then after visiting some schools, I ended up going back to where my mother's family was from, which is Bethlehem at Lehigh University, to study business, which ended up going to a banking career. But, when you're 18, Hawley can be a little limiting, at least in the 80s and 90s. So I was ready to get out. But as I became older, I liked coming home more and more. And at a certain point, it was obvious. As an adult, I became involved in the family business not until 2010. And I happened to have exited a former career, and I had some time to be at home. And at the time, my parents were also looking to get closer to retirement, although 15 years later, they still work every day. So obviously, Settlers Inn was the first in the portfolio of businesses, and not many people realize second was actually Sayre Mansion. It was a project that my parents did originally, and it was just after I graduated Lehigh, and it's only a few blocks away. And my parents and my sister ended up running that for 17 years. Our third property was now Ledges Hotel, and it was the first property I was actively involved in from an investor standpoint. But I fell in love with the waterfall, the sort of contemporary nature of the design in an old factory setting. So, It was our first like contemporary boutique property by design, which fell in line with my style. And so that brought us to 3, and it was very shortly after that that we were approached by the Earhart family, who have owned and operated this resort for 72 years on multiple generations, and actually before Lake Naomi ever even existed. After that, we were looking more in the Scranton market, and one of our partners who we do a lot of construction with wanted to pursue a property what is now Hotel Anthracite. And the Dock Restaurant, which is affiliated with the resort, is by far our largest number of seats, but also our most casual, family-friendly restaurant. To come back and not have an impactful chain, I think would have been irresponsible for us, given the business that we do. So today, whether it's working with Human Resource Foundation on their consumers and making sure that, folks with handicaps are, have workforce opportunities, or if it's working with our, Vacation Bureau, or our Chamber of Commerce, or our state's Restaurant and Lodging Association, we try and be involved in both the industry-related organizations as well as the community ones. And so we support in the way of hosting, donating, or in-kind exchanges over 500 different nonprofits every calendar year. And that's, for the size company, I think disproportionate from normal, but it fills our value of community development.
Settlers Hospitality, just like his parents, Justin Genslinger, setting the bar extremely high for hospitality, not just in the Poconos, but anywhere. Speaking about anywhere, we enjoyed visiting Tobyhanna State Park, part 2 of our series exploring state parks in the Poconos. Please join us next month when we visit my backyard, Prompton State Park, with one of the best disc golf courses anywhere. For Dee and Bri, this has been Jim Hamill. Thanks for watching Pocono Mountains Magazine. We'll see you next month.
We hope you enjoy these experiences as much as we do. Pocono Mountains Luxury Resorts. Luxury Unlimited. Find it at PoconoMountains.com.